All right. Good evening, everybody. We're going to call the Village Board meeting for the Village of Shorewood to order, February 22nd, 2022. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tony, roll call, please.
Mayor DeBold.
Here.
Trustees Brockman.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Kirkland.
Here.
Lambert.
Here.
Luciano.
Here. All right, everybody's here, and we have a quorum. Are there any citizens wishing to address the village board? Seeing none, we will move on to this evening's consent agenda. And just so everybody on the board is aware, the attorney is participating. He is on Camp WebEx, just so everybody's aware. There he is up on the screen, just so everybody is aware he is in attendance. Moving into the consent agenda for the evening. Item number 1 will be an approval of the regular meeting minutes, February 8, 2022. Approval of the special meeting minutes, February 16, 2022. Approval of accounts payable in the amount of $531,532. Approval of a payment in the amount of $19,099.78 to Compass Materials for road salt. And approval of payment in the amount of $38,909.24 to Ron Turapelli Ford for a 2022 F-250 Public Works truck. Are there any items a trustee has a concern, wishes to remove, or so forth? If not, we'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion Luciano, second Kirkland. Roll call, please.
Brockman.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
All right. The consent agenda has been approved. Reports and communications. Simply want to recognize on the Finance Department, they did receive the Certificate of Achievement from the Government Finance Officers Association of Excellence in Financial Reporting. So, Ann, how many years in a row have you guys been able to attain this now?
I think that was 13.
So 13 years in a row, the Finance Department has kept everything in check with, in accordance with those records. So congratulations to you and your staff for maintaining that in that regard. Otherwise, Tony, there's no other notifications that we have, correct?
There's not.
Thank you. All right, let's move into the order of business for this evening. All right, item number 1, consideration for approval of a resolution adopting the countywide All Hazards Mitigation Plan 2020 edition. Administrator Klima.
So this is a refresh document. In 2013, I think, was the first one that I participated in. Will County made a countywide all hazards mitigation plan. Basically, everyone that participated could piggyback onto it, precluded us from having to do our own. So we did it in 13, 17. We started working on it during COVID in 20, I think is when this document's dated. And it's obviously 2022. And the county, I think, passed it in October. It just got its FEMA declaration, so it's out for all of the municipalities that wish to sign on to it, Not a whole lot changed. It was a refresh. At the time, there was some talk about Dresden closing, but Dresden is still open, so those things are still included. So if you need some late night reading, there's a couple hundred pages there for you if you're so interested. Otherwise, it's very much the same as we had done before.
And that's why that wasn't included in your packet. That document's 567 pages. So
There was a link.
There was a link in your packets. It's also available, again, as the administrator referenced. You want to browse through some material, there's a lot of it available there. Wanted to try to save a tree. Several.
I move to approve a resolution adopting the countywide all hazard mitigations plan 2020 edition.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Luciano. Roll call, please.
Carroll.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
Brockman.
Yes.
All right, the countywide hazard plans adopted. All right, item number 2, consideration for approval of a resolution amending resolutions number 22R-1046, entitled "A Resolution Approving a Preliminary Agreement Regarding Formation of a Regional Water Commission, Making Preliminary Declarations for Future Lake Michigan Water Needs and Other Related Matters." Real quick, when we did the original document, there's 3 sections under there, one for administration, one for elected, one for PW employees. Under the original declaration, under elected, it had myself listed as the delegate, and it had the administrator listed as the alternate. It had to be another elected. I tried being very objective to it, and from what we can gather, Trustee Kirkland is the other longstanding trustee, and she is the opposing term. So we went ahead and just named her as the alternate unless somebody has a question in that capacity. That's the only amendment, nothing else changed. It was just a formality that we apologize that we missed when it was originally submitted.
I'll make the motion to approve a resolution amending resolution number 22R-1046, entitled "A Resolution Approving a Preliminary Agreement Regarding Formation of a Regional Water Commission, Making Preliminary Declarations for Future Lake Michigan Water Needs and Other Related Matters."
Second.
Motion Lambert, second Luciano. Roll call, please.
Chapman?
Yes.
Kirkland?
Yes.
Lambert?
Yes.
Luciano?
Yes.
Brockman?
Yes.
Carroll?
Yes.
Thank you. That amendment has been passed. Item number 3, consideration for approval of a bid award and contract to PT Farrell Construction for the village's 2022 MFT resurfacing project in the amount of $1,808,906.93 and authorize execution of the contract consistent with the bid documents. Public Works Director Noriel is going to explain further.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. So this is our annual street resurfacing project. We have approximately 4.6 miles listed in the contract. PT Farrell is the low bidder. We did have a sealed bid process for this. PT Farrell has been our low bid for a number of years now, our past 2020, 2021, at least since I've been here. Their bid is $1,808,906.93. Our proposed budget for this upcoming fiscal year has a construction budget of only $1.6 million, still a big project. During the design, we had anticipated that much of it was going to be a normal resurfacing contract, but our pavement cores that we found over for Diamond Head Drive showed that that was not a typical thickness cross-section, so it was recommended that we do a full-depth cross-section over resurfacing at that location. That put us a little over budget. We were hoping for really competitive prices, but although very competitive, it wasn't just we didn't quite get where we were hoping for. So we are asking you to award the contract in that amount of $1,808,906.93. And we will, at staff level, in the contract, it allows us to remove quantities, reduce quantities as we see fit without any penalties. And we will remove approximately 3 streets. We think that will take care of and bring us within budget. So we're identifying in the Westfield subdivision, Westwood, Rosewood, Kensington, as the 3 streets that we'll remove. That'll bring our total mileage for resurfacing just a little over 4 miles, and will also bring us within the $1.6 million budget. So we're recommending award of the contract to PT Farrell in the amount of $1,808,906.93 for our 2022 MFT resurfacing project. Any questions?
I've got a couple of them.
Yes, sir.
Why are we basically not going to try to put the other $200,000 in from budget, above the budget, in order to keep the schedule going instead of starting to fall back? Have we looked to see if I know we got reserve funds of about $3 million, so I mean,
We talked about it. We
Yeah.
thought we'd catch it next year without knowing exactly how water was gonna go right now.
Well, the problem with that whole thing is asphalt's gonna go skyrocket in this spring and summer, because the oil prices aren't gonna drop. So asphalt's gonna take off. They're gonna constantly be coming in with extra material, so.
If you would like, we can adjust. Instead of
Well,
transferring as much as we were going to, we can hold 200 out and cover the whole nugget.
yeah, the only thing that bothers me for that amount of money to start to go backwards on streets and not get them done in the time frame that the engineers have laid out for us, it just sounds to me, because that has a tendency to snowball.
It does, and we do have a target where we would like to try to do as much resurfacing. So if you think about the life of a roadway where it's around 12 to 15 years, depending on the amount of traffic that is on those roadways, and we have about 80 center line miles throughout the entire village, our target should be around that 10% mark of almost 8 miles. We're nowhere near that, but we've been keeping up with we do a 5-year, every 5 years, we do an IMS study report. They have rated our village. We just did it and completed it this year. You'll see the report shortly. It's almost complete. We're actually doing fairly well. So could we miss these 3 residential? That would be our recommendation, so we can hold back these small residential roadways. They're not any of the collector roadways, but it would be convenient for the residents, especially because we're going to be resurfacing all around them except for that interior.
So where you're at is you still think that's a good idea, back out those 3 streets?
That was our recommendation, yes.
Okay,
How much additional money are we talking about?
200,000.
200,000.
I would rather see him do them.
Do it?
Do them myself. Be done with it.
It's easy for me.
If you guys want to
Yes.
approve it at 1.8, we'll adjust things to make that happen.
We can do that. We just want opinion from the board, by
Yeah.
all means. We had 1.6 budgeted, by all means, as we discussed. It's, if the board's comfortable allowing it to stay at the 1.8, we can do said.
How much more money would it possibly go up, estimating, if we waited to do it? It's going to go up because everything else is going
Oh, no,
up.
we don't know what the
Right.
costs are next year.
I can go along with doing it now, too.
Just leaving it as,
No, going along with,
leaving the bid as is,
So
But
do
not-
all 100.
without
not
removing
taking
anything.
anything
Do all
out.
1.8 instead of 1.6.
And just to kind of show what, and I know that you don't have it in front of you, but looking at the resurfacing from last year, how much we paid per ton versus this year, it's about a 15% increase from
Yeah.
last year.
And a lot of it's based on me being with a few other mayors years ago, to where they were actually having a bond out for road repairs because they've fallen so far in the hole. So I was always sensitive to, in fact, I was there when we went from just putting the MFT funds and giving another $1 million towards the roads in Shorewood so that we could make sure that never happened to us. So I'm pretty sensitive to that, okay? Stay on
agree.
schedule, keep those roads in
Okay with
good
that?
shape. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
When we make a motion, we'll leave it as, we're not going to make any adjustments for staff. So whoever wants to make the motion.
I'll make the motion. I call for it.
So we got a motion by trustee Chapman
I'll second.
and a second by trustee Carroll. We will leaving the bid document at 1.8 without removing anything. Okay? Tony, roll call, please.
Kirkland,
yes.
Lambert,
Yes.
Luciano,
yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right, MFT's approved. Business item number 4, consideration for approval of a resolution for improvement improvement under the Illinois Highway Code 2022 MFT project. Noriel again.
Thank you again. So this is just a housekeeping. This is IDOT's form that we must approve in order to authorize to IDOT that we'll be expending the MFT funds for this, for our upcoming 2022 MFT resurfacing. So the form is indicating that we're going to transfer and utilize approximately $750,000 for our resurfacing project. So staff is recommending approval of the resolution in the amount of $750,000 to authorize the appropriation of MFT funds for the 2022 MFT resurfacing contract. Any questions?
I move to approve a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code 2022 MFT project.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Lambert. Roll call, please.
Lambert,
Yes?
Luciano.
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
All right, the resolution's approved. Business item number 5, consideration for approval of an ordinance amending the Village of Shorewood's Code of Ordinances with respect to water user rates. This is up for a first read. Ms. Burkholder.
Thank you. Following our budget workshop last week where we discussed increasing that water rate by $1 per 1,000 gallons and putting all of those revenues from that incremental dollar directly to the Lake Water Fund. This is the ordinance that would make that happen. It would be effective April 1st. Customers would see it on their water bills May 1st. Is that right? No, they would see it on their water bills June 1st. And it would cost the average household about $5 per month.
Any questions for Ms. Burkholder? I know we did discuss this during the budget workshop as we try to increase those funds for the Lake Michigan Water Project.
Just as a
What-
side note,
What day is it gonna kick in? Because I got a liner change that has to be done.
So it would be the first reading date after, we would want the whole of the reading period to be in the new rate. So it would be that reading period that begins April 15th and ends May 15th on the bills that go out June 1st.
today we had a Troy Administrators Luncheon, and the village administrator from Manuka talked about they're raising their rates. I know from my discussions with other mayors and managers, all the communities are preparing to do this. We're definitely not alone. But as described in the budget process, I think we're in a much better spot than some of our partners.
Without a doubt.
I move to approve an ordinance amending the Village of Shorewood Code of Ordinances with respect to water use rates and waive the second read.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Lambert. Roll call, please.
Luciano.
Yes.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Kirkland.
Yes.
Lambert.
Yes?
All right, the ordinance is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move into some reports. Building. Thank you. Community development.
Hello. So I have a brief comp plan update for you all. As you know, we had a first steering committee kickoff meeting on December 7th. Since that time, the consulting group has been working on doing an existing conditions analysis. So far, they've spent a lot of time in the community looking at what land uses we have, looking at our transportation networks. They've taken a look at all of our demographics. They've taken a look at our utilities that we have in the ground, what we'll eventually need in terms of utilities. They've taken a look at our parks and rec facilities as well as the programming. They've also done a review of all the existing plans we have. So the existing 2007 comp plan, the parks facility plan, the riverfront plan, the town center plan, the TIF core area plan, the strategic plan, and then the most recent market analysis by Gruen Associates. They've met with community leaders. There's been 5 focus group meetings. So they met with the taxing bodies, local businesses, regional partners, the agricultural community, and residential development community, and had sort of some focus group meetings with them to learn about what their concerns are. There was an imaging workshop at the Citizens Advisory Committee meeting where they asked the residents about Shorewood's identity and got some ideas in terms of what needs to be done for the comprehensive plan, as well as what needs to be done in terms of logos and marketings and things like that. If you haven't had an opportunity, I recommend you check out the designingshorewood.org website. That website basically contains information on the comprehensive planning process, links to all of our existing plans, and has a couple of good forums where residents can go on and they can share their opinions. They can either write in a comment box, or they can go onto a map, click a specific site, and tell us what they think of the site or what ideas they have for it. The participation rates have been really good. 1,400 individual people had actually visited the website as of last week. There were 4,800 hits, so multiple people have come back multiple times. 235 people have subscribed for all of the updates and will be aware of all the meetings that are coming up. And 160 people have gone and shared comments. Most of them on the map, but some also just by writing in the comment forum. So far, we have some very good community participation, and when we come up to have open houses and things like that, we should have a good turnout, we're hoping. Tomorrow night, the steering committee is going to meet for a second time, and the consulting group will present basically the results of all of their analysis to them. The next step after that will be to have a joint Planning and Zoning Commission and Village Board meeting where they'll present the analysis to you, get your input, so that way they can go and start working on more of the concrete planning type stuff. That's what I got. Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So if someone puts a comment out there on the website, is that anonymous, or is it tied to a person, or how does it work?
They can post an anonymous comment. I think they do try to get people to register for the site, so that way they have an ability to notify them, but they get posted anonymously.
Okay. So either way, they can.
Good, bad, or indifferent?
Yeah.
Can
Well,
be
I mean,
posted.
if they post and their name is attached to it, then someone can respond to them if that's appropriate?
So
or-
typically, they're posted anonymously, although the group who's managing the site may know who they are.
Oh.
And then they have the ability to go and like the comment or to dislike the comment, so that way they can see how many people in the community agree with them or not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Finance.
Very quickly, we did want to report that the property tax rebate, the $50 credit, has been applied to all of the residential utility accounts in the village. Process went very smoothly. It was applied before any of the automatic payments for the February bills were processed, so those customers have noticed the credit in this month. It's $50 less than, the amount pulled was $50 less than their bill. We do have some phone calls on that, but once explained, everybody's been very appreciative. Katie was also able to put up a Facebook post about it and send out an email. Everybody else is going to recognize that credit when they get their March 1st bill in the mail.
Phone calls that you guys have received otherwise have been positive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought there was a mistake. Oh, thank you. So everyone's been very understanding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parks had just referenced to me, they're working on getting some stuff ready for the spring. They should have a little bit more of a report going in the next month. Police Department, Chief Arnold. Thank you, sir. Public Works, Noriel.
Thank you. So much of our couple weeks have been focused in and around snow removal operations and main breaks. So for snow removal operations, we've, not including just this past weekend, so up and through last Friday, we've used approximately 1,100 tons of salt, 13,000 gallons of liquid, and we've plowed almost 11,000 miles. So we still have nearly 2,500 tons. We've kept our order down this year simply because, when we do relocate to the new facility, we don't want to have a worry about storage of salt. We've had now 2 main breaks, both main breaks, and one of them was at 506 or in front of 506 K-Crest. That was last Friday, and then we also had one over the weekend where Wood broke the cord. That's just simply as we covered the main break close to 8 or 9 o'clock. Public Works facility, we are approximately 57% complete with the project. They are 90% complete with installing all the windows. The covered storage roof is approximately, it's the in the back, that's 65% complete. And then the main building, we're almost 50%. So it's still leaking, that they're still putting the cover on it, but it is our ComEd service. ComEd is completed. So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see them complete the roof. They're also beginning the mechanical, electric, plumbing, interior work, the piping for inside the building. Everything is above ground right now. They'll soon be starting on the underground portion, but that'll allow them to start planning in the future for the flooring inside the building. They have recognized 21.5 weather delay. They did new construction schedule showing completion toward the end of May. Unless we get a string of beautiful weather that provides no further. Might be able to make up some of those days, but we're targeting the end of May. Questions with that so far?
Did you hear anything back from NICOR when they're trying to get service into the building for you guys?
Yeah, we applied the permit, or approved the permit, so we're waiting for a schedule from them, so we think over the next couple of weeks.
Okay,
They've been communicating directly with us.
okay, thank you.
So we do have a number of IDOT projects that are going to be upcoming. So Black Road Bridge, which you may have seen in the monthly board update, that is up for bid in March, and they will be getting started for the overlay abutment repairs on Black Road over I-55 beginning in April. This as quickly as possible because shortly thereafter, Route 52 over I-55 with the ramp updates and widening, removing of the medians, that will begin. Bid out in June with the construction date of July. You might have both roadways in west direction under construction. So IDOT is pushing to get Black Road done, completed as quickly as possible to limit any of those inconveniences. And also don't forget I-55, the resurfacing project was in October. K5 is the low bid with Deacon, so it's three contractors working together, so it's K5 as the lead with deconstruction. That's a $48 million resurfacing of between Rubber Road and I-80. A lot of work in this area. Questions?
In regards, so everybody's aware, in regards to the Route 52 bridge project with Black Road, the administrator, Noriel, and myself have been in contact with IDOT, and we will continue to stay focused with IDOT to make certain that we can prohibit the dual closures at the same time. They've been receptive thus far, but we will continue to work with them to make sure, try to minimize any of those impacts. Well, thank you. Administrator Klima.
So since we're talking about roadway projects, I did send out an email. It's been widely distributed in the community too. We can keep putting it out. They're seeking public input on the 52 County Line Road roundabout proposal or intersection proposal. So there's a website, there's videos, you can see different ideas, and there's plenty of places to make comment on there. So if you're so inclined, please go visit that. You guys, I think I told you that Troy Fire Department was purchasing the Jones Road Church. That has been completed. That again is going to be a training facility and their third station in time to be determined. There are 3 meetings over the next 5 days, right? Yeah, 3 meetings over the next 5 days. Natalie and I will be at both together or one of us at all those meetings to make sure that that's in our planning area, so it'll have our support. We've been communicating with the fire department ever since they decided to not locate the burn tower at the Public Works facility. So if you have any questions about that, contact me. Chief Arnold and I will be working in the next couple of days talking about the future of EMA. I will be reaching out to some of you, or all of you, to tell you some of the ideas that we come up with. And that way we can, as of April 1st, kind of move forward with a transition. I will continue to do what I'm doing for sure until April. And of course, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll be around. So I'll take out the car into the storms and we'll see how it holds up instead of the Tahoe. So we'll see how that goes. And then lastly, probably not as well, right? But anyway, mitigations. A lot of questions about what's happening. I will have something out by the end of the week. It's my understanding that CDC is supposed to have something out tomorrow, but of course, Russia's invading Ukraine, so CNN and everybody else don't want to cover anything but that. So we'll probably hear something by the end of the week regardless. As you saw today, Chicago announced their withdrawal of the vaccine mandates and masking. That'll take effect Monday. Governor Pritzker's already stated, and IDPH has stated that the masking requirements will be released on Monday. So I will have something out by end of the week. That way everybody knows what's happening next week. But next time we meet, we'll all be back to normal. The department heads will go back to the table over there, which we tried to institute, and those sorts of things.
Any questions? Thank you. Trustee comments, Trustee Brockman.
Only comment, next planning and zoning meeting will be on March 2nd.
March 2.
Agenda items.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Trustee Carroll.
No, nothing to report.
Trustee Chapman.
Nothing, Mayor.
No problem. Trustee Kirkland.
Thank you. I just wanted to compliment the Finance Department as well. I shared that post on my Facebook page and got numerous congratulatory comments on the Facebook page, so I just wanted to share that with you. That's all I have.
No problem. Trustee Lambert.
I just have a little statement to read. It is with a heavy heart that I'm resigning as trustee for the Village Board of Shorewood. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on the board. Firstly, I need to thank former Mayor Chapman. He appointed me to the village clerk position. Following 3 years of serving, I decided to run for the trustee board. Many thanks to the residents of Shorewood for all the votes of confidence that I received in that election. Many wonderful advances have been made for Shorewood with Michigan water on the horizon. Everyone at the village and the chamber have made my time here very enjoyable, and I'm very grateful for all the friendships that I've made. Special thanks to former Chief of Police Aaron Klima, Deputy Chief Jason Barton, former Director of Public Works Chris Dray, and Jim Partham. During my term as chairman of the board for the Shorewood Chamber, they assisted myself and my sister making Crossroads Fest one of the best events ever for the past 12 years. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow trustees, Steve Brockman, Cookie Kirkland, Don Carroll, Tony Luciano, Rick Chapman, and especially Mayor C.C. DeBold. I am confident with his leadership, Shorewood will continue to progress as a great community in which to live. I would also like to thank Tony Dolney for all of her assistance over the years. As I have many relatives and my 9 grandkids, I will be back and forth between Shorewood and Floorwood, and Florida, which I'll just say it was 88 degrees this morning when I left. From time to time, I'll be back. It's likely Packy and I will be in Florida the majority of the time, especially for the good weather. God bless you all.
Well, Diane.
By all means, thank you for your time. As you mentioned, you served as a clerk for a few years. You got to see it as a trustee. Thank you very much for your time. Don't be a stranger if you're in town. Stop in and say hello. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Trustee Luciano.
I'd also like to thank you for serving with you. It's been a pleasure, I wish you all the good luck in Florida.
Thank you.
And beyond that, the next Citizens Advisory Committee will be February 24th, which is this Thursday at 7 PM in the Village Boardroom. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Real quick, just so everybody's aware, I just want to make sure everybody is aware there are 6 partners for the Regional Water Commission. So as everybody may have been aware, when we voted on it that night, the city of Crest Hill had signed on, Village of Shorewood, Village of Minooka, City of Joliet, Village of Shanahan, and the Village of Romeoville. So we do have 6 partners moving forward on this. There will be some discussions now at creating the formal committee for that commission, more of a formal name versus just the Southwest Planning Group. So there are some things taking place. As the administrator had referenced, the city of Joliet and the village of Shorewood are definitely a little bit of a leg ahead in regards to we already have our DNR water allocations in place. So we definitely are a little bit ahead of the game there. So again, I just want to make sure everybody was briefed on that and that the formal formation of the commission does exist. So with that, there will be no executive session this evening. Take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion Kirkland, second Luciano. Roll call, please.
Brockman,
Yes.
Carroll, Chapman, Kirkland, Lambert,
Yes.
Luciano.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.